am the product of maybe from growing up and talking to other entrepreneurs. We all have a very similar story. I am the son of an almost man. When I say that, I don't mean that to offend my dad. Actually, I had tremendous love and affection for my father, but he almost did a lot of great things. He was just there, and one of my biggest scares was in life was to be an almost man.
Welcome to the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast, where we bring to you the most successful, happy, fulfilled gentlemen from around the world who have been able to conquer themselves, their life, their marriage, and their businesses. You will be learning from four-dimensional gentlemen who have cracked the code to the science of having it all. The question is, how can married entrepreneurs with kids become gentlemen, achieve true freedom, and build a successful, happy, and fulfilled life, marriage, and business? This show will give you the answer for that. My name is Alex Ramirez, and I'm your host, and you're welcome to the Gentleman Success, Happiness, Fulfillment Talk podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast. As always, I have an incredible guest with me today that I'm very excited to get to talk to, learn from, and connect with. But before I introduce this gentleman to you, though, I just want to give a big shout out to all of you who have been leaving comments, reviews, and likes on all the major podcasting platforms, Apple, Google, Spotify, and to those watching on YouTube as well. Thank you. And I want to ask you for a favor. I want to ask you that if you get something out of this interview, if you get some type of value, if you get some type of insight, a skill, knowledge, information, or the inspiration to go out and take action to keep on moving forward towards your goals, I want to ask you to please share this episode with 10 people. Share it on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on stories. Send it to your mother, to your father, to a friend. Share it with 10 people, since this is how we grow. This is how we're able to share our message and motivate, inspire, and bless other men and women out there to change their lives, level up, and step into their God-given potential. So today I have Nestor, a Cadena. He works with airplanes, so I'm very excited about that. I actually want to get my pilot's license. So yeah, I'm excited to talk to this gentleman, husband, father, entrepreneur. He's been on podcasts like Bradley and Nestor, thank you very much for being here, man. I really appreciate, and you're welcome, man.
No, I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you. You know, I've reviewed a lot of your podcasts, and you're doing some amazing work. So congratulations.
Thanks, brother. So look, the first thing that I do with my guest is I tell them to walk us through their entrepreneurial journey in 75 seconds or less.
Okay, well, it's very simple. I would say that I am the product of maybe from growing up and talking to other entrepreneurs. We all have a very similar story. I am the son of an almost man. When I say that, I don't mean that to offend my dad. Actually, I had tremendous love and affection for my father, but he almost did a lot of great things. He was just there, and one of my biggest scares was in life was to be an almost man. Even though my dad had an amazing life, he did exactly everything and anything that he wanted. Most say that he was a spoiled little brat, but honestly, the biggest aspects of my dad and the teachings that they did to me was, mijo, I did this, and these are my outcomes. I don't recommend you do them. And as a father, I became a father at 25 years old, and that's one of the biggest things that's when I started noticing, because as growing into my career as an entrepreneur, made a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes led to amazing learning opportunities. I've done a lot of things in my life. It hasn't just been in aviation. It's just so much fact that aviation is what my trade job ended up being. Little background on everything else. Well, I started in the Air Force. When I graduated high school extremely early. And I was 16 years old. I had all my credits, I had everything done, and I had 3 jobs. My dad was sick at that time, so he wasn't working. My mom never worked while she was just a regular housewife. She started working. She was, a very low income household. And I said, okay, well, how can I help? So I went to my counselor and I said, hey, what do I need to do to be able to get out of school early? As a senior in high school. And she says, well, you have all your credits. You can leave at 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, really? I just got to do 2 classes and you're done? It's like, yeah, that's it. I said, done. So I ended up getting 3 jobs. And out of those 3 jobs, I worked at a grocery store in the deli department. I worked at the Gap, and I also worked at a butcher block as a butcher. And having those 3 jobs, I always gave 2 of my paychecks to my mother every week, and I kept 1 for myself. And that was the way that we ended up, maintaining the house. I have a little brother with my mom and my dad, and I have 2 older siblings with just my father. So step sibling, half brothers. So with that being said, I had 1 Saturday off in the morning. I've never had a Saturday off. And I had 1 Saturday, and my mom says, Mijo, there's no money for college. What are you going to do with your life? And I said, well, I don't know. She goes, well, it just so happened that there was an Air Force commercial showing up, after my Saturday morning cartoons. I'm eating cereal. And I said, okay. So I just got at the phone, called the recruiter's office, and 6 months later, I was gone. I didn't look at anything else. I had no idea about the military life. We don't come from a military family. We don't, anything like that. And they said, what do you want to do in life? I said, well, I love airplanes. I want to fly. Well, you need college for that. I said, well, I don't have money. Can you help me? They're like, yep, come on board. And so they made me an aircraft mechanic. They taught me to be an aircraft mechanic in the Air Force. Throughout my 4.5 years in the Air Force, I decided, what? I saw the impact of military life was not family oriented. I was not married. I was not married at that time. And we basically, my girlfriend, which I met at a young age, I met her when I was 19. I said, well, you know what? She was a good woman. She was raised the old-fashioned way. I knew she would be a great wife, a great mother, honorable. And I was like, you know what? And she's beautiful. So I was like, you know what? This is not a life for her. She came from a military background, and she's, how difficult it was, but it wasn't a life that I wanted to give to her. So I decided to get out, and I said, I'm never touching another airplane again. So based on that aspect, when I got out of the military, I ended up getting my insurance license. I ended up getting a mortgage license, a real estate license. I ended up getting a whole bunch of different licenses. And the reason I did that was because, well, first thing was when I first started selling life insurance at a young age of 21, 22 years old, made great money, but I kept seeing that the policies I would sell more and make less. And I didn't understand why. So chargebacks, I didn't have a retention of customer service. I wasn't retaining these customers, these clients. And then I said, okay. And then that's when, back in 2002, the mortgage industry was just starting to really boom, all the real estate. So I became a mortgage broker in 2002. And I said, and then I never looked back. I said, forget about it. There's a lot of money in mortgages, and we made a tremendous amount of money. Everything was amazing. We actually did quite well. With that being said, we ended up opening 2 offices. We had one in Orlando, Florida, one in Boca Raton. We ended up having a real estate office as well. And back in 2008, 2009, everything pretty much went to shit. Wasn't prepared. These are the aspects of everything is going great. Nothing's going to change. And personal development was always there, but it wasn't key. And once again, this is where the almost man comes into place, where I said, wow, I was here and I almost did this. And I said, fuck, I don't know if I can cuss here, but I said, this is going to be, I don't want to be my dad. I really don't want to be my dad. So long story short, after we ended up losing pretty much everything, almost filing bankruptcy. I said, I'm not going to file bankruptcy. And I wanted to do something else. I mean, I got to figure something out. And I've never been a guy to just really have a regular job, just over broke. I always we had a little bit of money. I tried different business ventures, trying to build up something, and nothing was working back then. So I said, you know what? I ended up going back to my trade, which was fixing airplanes. The good and the bad. One of the great things was that as soon as I decided to do that, I started getting a paycheck almost immediately. And I noticed and I realized, holy cow, as a W-2 employee, you make no money. It doesn't matter how hard you work. I thought that by working at a job 60, 80, 100 hours a week, I would be okay, making $10,000, $12,000 a month. Bullshit. Taxes are horrendous. And I said, forget about it. This isn't for me. It's not for me. So I tried different things throughout the aviation side as a mechanic. And finally I said to myself, and I don't remember who said it, but in order to be a millionaire, you have to have worked with somebody, a mentor, to be able to learn from them. So that's when I started looking for people that are in the positions that I wanted to be in. I started looking for people that are much better than me. I always knew that I could do so much more without, I have conversations with early mechanic friends, that are just, they stick to a good job. They're there for 10, 15 years, and they're talking about benefits and, oh, I get weekends off and I get paid vacations. And I'm internally, to me, that's like a kick in the balls, because no, it's like, wait, you're telling me that you're with this company because they give you paid 3 weeks vacation. Why the fuck don't you just make a little bit extra money and then go on the vacation whenever you want? Why do you have to ask for permission? Or no, they give me a good 401k. I was like, well, fuck, why don't you put yourself, start putting money aside? Learning in the insurance industry, I learned a long time ago on how to be able to, set up your future, with that sense. Most people think that life insurance is just a death benefit. That's what the lies that society has put into us back from the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Oh, it's life insurance. It's only for death benefits. No, man, the rich are using life insurance for so many other things that people don't even have any clue on the real use of life insurance. So with that being said, I never left my life insurance license. I still have it. I have it active. I have a team of guys who actually, help people. I also still have my real estate license. We have a team of guys, I have a small team that help people buy and sell homes, or, and my bread and butter, I guess you could say, it is by aviation. I mean, I really like to get dirty. As much as I really like to travel, I like to be able to go and rescue airplanes. I do that all the time. And that pretty much sums that aspect of why I'm in, this. As far as having multiple streams of income, that's pretty much where it comes from, whether it be from the insurance, from the real estate, or the aviation side, as a tech.
Cool. Well, that was a little bit more than 75 seconds, man, but I enjoyed it.
That just summed it up. Sorry, man.
No worries, man. So life insurance. Yeah, I've heard about, life insurance. Do you know about infinite banking? Like the life insurance that you like? Yeah. That's crazy, right? Like I just learned from another podcast guest.
Yeah, that's just one key. The infinite banking system is just one key. I mean, depending, you can fully fund, for example, an IUL, an index universal life policy. You can fully fund a policy. And what people don't understand is you're buying a product, right? It's not an investment. People are like, oh, I invest in my life insurance. That's not an investment. You're buying a product. What is the product? Well, number one, the product is that if something happens to you, you have a death benefit. If something doesn't happen to you, this product pays you, or you can borrow money against it, and you can continuously keep growing your initial, your small bank. That's what people don't understand. And that's the key key sense. Whether you just start off with $500 a month or you put in $50,000 a month, it doesn't matter. Or let's say you came in with a nice check. You're saying you're moving on to 7 figures very soon. You know, pretty soon you'll be a keynote speaker making $250,000 each time. Those monies that you make, you can automatically just put them into it, and you never lose. You do not lose, because the way that they're structured, the way they're set up, is you get all of the gains. When you have something that's indexed, it basically means that you can definitely ride, but you don't, there's also a level. Like, let's say, for example, if you have a regular Roth IRA, right? So your regular Roth, you could go all the way down, right? People's 401k. If the market crashes, as the market is crashing right now, we are in a recession. It would, most people have their 401ks or maybe half of what they were a year ago. They are like, oh my God, we don't know what to do. Well, the people that have their money structured into a properly structured index universal life policy, their money doesn't lose. It's, you may not gain anything, but you don't lose, and that's the key figures. Oh, but my Roth IRAs, we were doing 15, 20%. Well, congratulations. Where are you now? Where if you stabilize and do an average between 8 to 12%, depending on where the market is going, if you're guaranteed compounding interest at an 8, 9, 10%, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. And those are things that I taught my son. My son will be 19 very soon. He's actually getting insurance license right now. He's coming on board to help me run my team. And with those things that right there are important to teach the young ones, because here's a great example. I mean, so I went to go open up another IUL for myself, and I got turned down. I'm also, because I'm in the military, I'm considered a disabled vet, right? So because of my medical history, they're like, oh my God, Nestor's all fucked up. I couldn't get another policy. So I was like, you know what? I told my son, I was like, you start doing this now. These are things that we should have known when I was 18, 19 years old. The younger you are, the more healthy you are, the more probable. And the cost of insurance is so much cheaper. It's not like right now, you're 60 years old and you're putting in $800 a month. Well, your cost of insurance is this much compared to an 18, 19, 20-year-old where your cost of insurance is this much. So the $800, you could actually, your cost of insurance could be maybe $150 a month compared to the 60-year-old at $550 a month, so you're actually be able to use more of your own money
to like fund it and to make it grow. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Awesome. Yeah. I actually, man, my first entrepreneurial, well, that wasn't my first entrepreneurial. Like I sold chips and candy from Mexico in the US and stuff like that when I was like very young, and like virtual reality glasses and smartwatches, and I sold cars when I was like 15. But then I got derailed, like at 14, right? And I just got derailed. But then I got back on track on 18. And the first thing that I went into when everything with my daughter happened was insurance. I actually did insurance. So I'm very familiar with everything that you're talking about. And I actually have an IUL myself that I got like 3 years ago. And like, I don't know, like money goes into it. I don't even notice. And, it's pretty cool. Right.
That's awesome.
And I just learned about the infinite banking system, which I haven't had time to like really look into it and really dive deep into it. But that sounds crazy, man. Like damn, yeah, like you make time multiple times on that. It's crazy. It's like having your own bank. So 100%. I'll definitely go look into it. If anyone out there listening, the infinite banking system, there's people out there that help with that. But yeah, it's a crazy concept that everybody should learn how to use, right? And cool. Well, so right now you're fixing a plane. What is it that you're doing right now, man?
Well, right now I would have been in my office. I was scheduled to be with you in my office, and I got a call from a buddy of mine who needed some help because let me see if I can do this real quick. Here we go. And let me flip this over.
Cool.
So what we're doing is we are.
And for everyone listening, on YouTube, we have the video and you can see like he's showing us a plane right now, like a jet or something.
Right now, what we're doing is we're doing a borescope inspection. all right, of the engines. Okay. And that's one thing here. This is actually for a pre-buy. This is for a pre-buy. So, we got called out to do it. And this aircraft here is a Hawker 800. Don't ask me how much this one costs because I have no idea. And it's not my business to know what they're going to pay for or what they're going to sell it for, anything like that. So yeah, that's this tool right here that he's using. It's called a bore scope. So it goes right into where the igniters are, and the igniters are what they call like the spark plugs. Okay, so it goes into the cavity, into the hole into the engine, and that way you can see inside. So that pretty much. So that's again. I appreciate thank God for Zoom that we can do this, mobily.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy, man. The internet is like crazy.
Well, that's one of the good things about COVID, I guess. It moved everything fast, because this was something that was going to happen a while ago, but they just made it so much quicker.
Yeah, it just like made everyone wake up to this reality that everything was going to go on the internet, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Man, so all right, so then right, that you that's your trade, right? Like working on airplanes and stuff. Cool, right? So you found the problem in that, right? You found the problem in that, and from that you created Aviator.
Okay, so right, Aviator. Okay, so one of my companies is Aviator Enterprises, and Aviator Enterprises basically has a couple of different branches.
Okay.
We have Aviator School, okay, aviatorschool.com. With that one right there is a virtual training platform, where I pre-recorded a whole tutoring system on how to pass. Because to become an aircraft mechanic, you have to take 3 written tests and an oral and practical test. Okay. So most people they're not good test takers.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately or fortunately, to become an aircraft mechanic is not really hard. All you got to do is learn to follow directions. I'm not a good car mechanic. Don't ask me to look what's wrong with my car. I have no fucking clue. I really don't. But the good thing about it, airplanes, everything is checklist. Everything is structured as far as what to do. And then your job as an aircraft technician is to make sure and to know where to look to find the problem, right? I'm supposed to be able to look. And actually, as a matter of fact, when I was doing my real estate stuff, I actually looked into possibly being a contractor, and it's the same exact thing. They don't want you to know how to build a house or a building. They want you to know where to find the information in order to build the house, or whatever it is, to lay the foundation. You don't have to know everything. And that's one key thing that I learned a long time ago. I said, I don't want to be the expert. Most people say, oh, you're a master, you're a jack of all trades. I'm like, yeah, I am. And I'm very proud of it, because I need to know a little bit about something, but I need to know more of who the experts are. That way I can put the right people in place and not be afraid to either A, split the money, B, pay somebody an incredible amount more than anybody else, because it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with giving a good product, doing a good service, and making sure that it's a win-win for both sides. The customer, I'm not cheap. I'm not cheap because I pay the guys extremely well, and the customer knows that they're going to get a tremendous job. I am fast. That's the other thing. We make sure we're efficient and we're proficient. So that being said, a lot of people are coming to me and saying, I don't know if you've, I have a little TikTok following. It's not as big as I'd like it to be, but it's funny because I travel all the time, and other part of my business is the AOG side, aircraft on ground. So besides teaching people how to become an aircraft mechanic, helping them to pass these tests, I also show them, hey, this is what you can do. I don't like to promote employees or promote a regular job, because who likes to be in a dead end job, or who likes to be zombies? I like guys that they can think on their feet. I like for people to be able to. You have to be a decision maker real quick,
Yeah.
and not be afraid. Know the minimums and the maximums. If I do this, what are my consequences? If I do this, how can I fix this? If I do this, those are the things that people don't understand, and they need to be able to grasp. So with Aviator Enterprises, we have the online school. Okay, it's powered by Lightstream, which is Bradley's company. That school right there, it's literally a one-stop shop. It's designed, and I designed it for people like myself, guys that know that they could be better. They need to make more money, and they have knowledge of how fixing airplanes. So like military guys that don't have an airframe and power plant certificate, how can I get one? But I know how to fix an airplane. I know the basics of what to do. Getting your aircraft mechanics certificate, AMP, it's just it's a starting block. It's not that all of a sudden you can do whatever it is that you want. No, you need to be certified on a lot of little things, but it's a license or a certificate to learn, to be able to expand yourself. There's a lot of things that you can do with aircraft. There's a lot of regular jobs. I mean, people can do wind turbines.
Yeah.
They look for aircraft mechanics. Believe it or not, even at the amusement parks, they look for aircraft mechanics. Why do they do all this? Because we pay attention to detail. We look for the little things. We know what to look for as far as, and these are basically traits that are taught, what to look for and how to progress within your career field. You can have an engine expert like my friend over here. He's that's his specific thing. He loves it to work. He disassembles engines. He takes them apart. He inspects them. That's what he likes to do. Great. So I have somebody who's designed to do that. Avionics wise, you have your avionics expert. There's so many different things that you can do in order to become more proficient.
Awesome. So then you found the problem, right? You found the problem in that industry, and you made a business out of it, which is what business is all about: solving problems, right? That's it.
Well, that's one of my early mentors. He says, we get paid by however bigger the problem. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make. So we are in the problem solving field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, man, you've mentioned a couple of times that you don't promote like having a job. You don't promote like employees, right? Like, you want people who can stand on their own feet, on their own feet, and basically, like take care of themselves. So, I know that you've spoken on growing and getting out of the rat race, right? So, tell me a little bit about that.
Like I said before, on a personal basis, I see it with family. I see it with friends. I see it with people that are just, they love their job. They love what they do. They're good at it. But at the same time, they don't make any money. They don't have happiness. They're not fully content, as far as there is no work-life balance. Whoever says that is a fucking liar. There is no work-life balance. That shit does that. You have to either do one or the other. If you want to devote a life, then you need to figure out a way to have, just generate a business that gives you money all the time, and then that way you can go and do whatever it is that you want. But work-life balance doesn't exist. You have to 100% dedicate it, and it needs to be also with it's a partnership as well with your wife, your significant other, because having a regular job, yes, you have a schedule. Yes, you have a 9 to 5. Yes, but where are you going to go?
Sorry for the interruption. If you're an aspiring, established coach, course creator, author, and speaker, I want to extend an invitation to check out my free training on the podcast Cloak Track Framework by clicking on the link the description of this podcast. On this training, you're going to learn how combining podcasting with a rare concept that very few people know about called the cloak track can help you build a multi-million-dollar network of successful people who can become your clients, put you in front of hundreds of your ideal clients with your message, coaching, courses, and books, help you become a best-selling author, get you booked to speak on stages, or even making an extra $237,600 in the next 6 months. Click on the link of the description of this podcast to learn about the 4 simple steps to make this work. Step number 1 is alignment. Aligning who you're trying to be, what you're trying to do, your goals and purpose with building your podcast so that podcasting is a vehicle that helps you achieve your goals. Step number 2 is leveraging the cloak track to find an unlimited supply of your ideal podcast guest. Step number 3 is leveraging the cloak track to close an interview with anyone, no matter how rich, famous, or out of your league they may seem. And step number 4 is the content machine, which is the key to tapping into other people's audiences. These are the 4 steps to making the podcast cloak track framework work, and I'm not going to hold anything back on this training. So click on the link in the description of this podcast, go and check it out. And once you've done that, if you feel like this would help, we also have a complimentary, free, absolutely free alignment call to get you started and show you exactly how to implement everything. Get access to the training right now, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. Bye-bye.
I mean, I'm not a full advocate to going to school and getting a degree. It really depends. I mean, it's extremely important. We have to continuously keep learning. But our society says, go to school. Our kids are taught to go to elementary school, preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school. What are they taught? Shut up, sit down, do your work, get 80s, 90s, no failing grades, do your best. And if it's your best, it has to be, it's not enough. Keep doing it, and we're putting this tremendous stress on our kids on perfection. And then when they go and get out, and even fucking college, they're getting degrees in like basket weaving or whatever it is. I have a degree in whatever. If you're not an engineer, if you're not a doctor, if you're not a lawyer, if you don't have one of those professional trades that, an architect, what the fuck you need a degree for? I'm an English major. What the fuck is that? What good does that do? That you can talk better? I don't know. Maybe my ignorance, somebody can help me with that, but I'm an English major, or I'm, I don't know. I'm a mathematician. Great. Congratulations. What does that do? What does that do? You're great with calculus. Okay, so the calculus is good for problem solving, but to a certain extent. Algebra is a great problem solving tool. Calculus, I could never figure that one out. But those are things that you don't really focus too much on. So what does the job say? Well, if you don't have a degree here in the military, right? Here you go. If you don't have a degree, you can't become a pilot or an officer. You can't be more than what you want to be because you don't have a degree. Holy shit. So you're actually telling me that I need to go get a basket weaving degree so I can become more? No, man, it's just not right. I know a lot of people who are tremendous, great leaders. Like, leadership could be taught, but they say that leadership, are naturally born. I beg to differ. It is a trade. It is a trade. How many introverts that they didn't lead anything are amazing entrepreneurs? Most of I want to say the top 2% of most successful people in the world are all introverts. They hate talking to people. They hate. Elon Musk is an introvert. It's the Jeff Bezos. What's the other guy?
Mark
Microsoft.
Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. The guy looks like a fucking zombie. Yes, same thing. These guys, but they have visions, and they surround themselves with people that are better than them to certain things and say, hey, I got this idea. Let's get this done. And that's amazing. That's exactly what it's all about. It's about using your own mind and using your brain and pushing yourself. Personal development, you have to be 100% in control of what goes in your mind. Mm-hmm. You have to know, because what comes in is what comes out. If you take in garbage, you're gonna be garbage. You're not gonna grow. You're not gonna help people. In order to become somebody of influence, you have to have helped a lot of fucking people. Focus on their winnings and your winnings will come. It's not all about me, because that doesn't help at all either. So that's why the rat race, in order to succeed and move on in any job, I have to step on people. I have to, oh, my coworker over here took an extra 15-minute smoke break. Who the fuck cares? Is he's doing a good job? That's the other thing. You do more work in a 4 to 6 hour day than people do in a normal 8-9 hour shift. You sit down, you focus. If you actually take the time to see exactly how much time you put into the work that you're performing, you would be surprised. Why? Because it's amazing how much people waste money, waste time. They waste the time. There's a little thing that I've seen, and it's funny, about people going to the bathroom more at work. I'm not gonna go to the bathroom at home. I'm gonna go to the bathroom at work, so I get an extra 15-minute break. What is that? What is the point of that? Because you're stretching your day out. You hate your job so much you want to go hide in the bathroom. On the contrary, you need to be able to see exactly what better things. And the same thing applies in regular jobs. Even your boss. I hate the word boss with a passion. I hate the word job with a passion, because those are all negatives. I have coworkers. I got guys that I work with. I'm not nobody's boss. If they want to do their job, great, and they'll get compensated for it. If they don't want to do their job, great, let me know and go fuck yourself. I got shit to do. It's okay, no problems. It's fine. I'm not down. If somebody has something more important. Okay, so in your mind right now, you know exactly how much you need to bring home on a daily basis. Everybody has that. Whether you have a job or you have a business, what is it where, okay, so I open my eyes and say, thank God, here we go, one extra day. Well, you got the other guy who goes, oh, fuck, I got to go to work again today. Oh, thank God it's Friday. Why does every day to me is Monday? Today is Saturday. I had to think about it. I'm sorry. It's true. To me, every day is Monday. Why is that? Because every day I always got something to do. I always have something to do. The days that I don't, I always forget what time it is and what day it is. Because I'm like, I have no idea. I don't focus on it. I'm being things come up, and if I don't focus and put into my calendar, these are the things that are going on. This is what's going on, and things always happen. I mean, this is the third time that you and I tried to be together. The first time, something happened. The second time, something happened. It's like, holy cow, here we are. And I said, I'm not gonna miss this one time. I'm so glad I'm, here to do it through the phone. I wish I would have been in my office, but it is what it is, because that way I can make sure that everything goes okay here. I'm taking care of this, and at the same time, it's just, what is it exactly that I need to do today to make sure that my day was fulfilled? And that's all I really focus on every single day. Whether it's sit down and enjoy a beer with my family, that's okay. That is 100% okay. But don't make it a habit of just being a mooch either.
Yeah.
You want to be the guy to be able to say, let's go to dinner. Well, we don't have any money. How can you help your family if you don't have any money? How can you, but you're the guy that they call for everything. Oh, why? Because you have time on your hands, right? What about the guy who is just who doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, and he just sits home and he plays his fucking, I don't play any Xbox or anything like that. I used to play Nintendo. I'm that old. So I don't have, I'm not good at the Xbox or the PlayStation. You got too many fucking buttons. But I mean, I'm not the guy who says, I lost the Vicento. Hold on. I'm not the guy who just focuses on. Oh, yes, here we go. What about the guy who just sits there and it's waiting for? Oh, I read The Secret. I watched the movie, and if I think positive, it's gonna come to me. No, marica, you gotta fucking go for it. You need to tell life. Well, you gotta tell life what it is that you want. You're the one that literally tells life exactly what it is that you want. Because if you project it and you put it out there, I had a conversation this morning with one of the guys that works with me, and he's like, "Hey, Nest, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this, but I think I'm gonna wait a month." I'm like, "Why? Why? Why are you gonna wait?" Well, because if I do it like this, I have more time to do this. And I'm like, "Wait on, what are you doing, dude? Just fucking go do it." But what if I fail? Who the fuck cares? At least you tried. What if you passed? Look how much time you saved. What if you passed? It's amazing the mindset of procrastination. Why do we procrastinate? Because we procrastinate because we have a fear of loss, right?
Yeah.
Well, what if every time you lost, you made $1,000? I'd be trying to lose all the time, right?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It's the exact same thing. What is it that I need to do? So put a deadline on your. People have aspirations. Oh, one day I'm gonna own a Rolex. One day I'm gonna own a Harley. One day I'm gonna be driving a Ferrari. I'll make $1 million one day. Dude, even the guy who makes $80,000 a year will make $1 million eventually. It'll take him 20 fucking years, but he'll still do it. Once again, what is it exactly? What is your time frame? What is your deadline on what it is that you need to accomplish? Why? Because the better you do, the better not only do you feel, but the better it is for your loved ones. How can you help your mother? How can you help your father? How can you help your family in itself?
Everyone,
Your kids, anyone. Even your I don't know how religious people are, but your charitable causes. It's okay. Just here's an extra $300, $400, $500. Who cares? I got this. It's not a big deal. Or picking up the family tab at a restaurant. Most people are like, "Oh, how much was dinner?" It was $800. Oh my God, that's why? Because they're thinking that's how much they're thinking that's more than they make in a week. When you can easily say, "Fuck, I made that in 2 hours. I made that in 30 minutes. I'm not worried about it." Think about that. Most people are like, "Oh my God, I would never drive a $100,000 car." Why? Because you don't see yourself driving it, or because you think you're not worthy enough. That's it. It's just, what is it exactly that you want to do? And you need to figure it out, whether through the books you read, the people you hang out with, everything literally determines your life in the next 5 years. I think that was Napoleon Hill. Shit. I think that was Think and Grow Rich. The books you read and the people you hang out with literally determine your life. I mean, there's a ton of books out there. That's the other thing. People are like, "Oh, I'm not a good reader." Well, you're already telling your subconscious that you don't like to fucking read. Well, listen to it. Listen to the audiobook. Or like I taught my son, hey, listen to it and follow along in the book.
Yeah.
10 pages a day. You can read 300 books a year if you read 10 pages a day. It's crazy. It's crazy. Just it's the amount of education that you can do for yourself to better yourself is 100% based on where you really want to be. Now, it also falls in line with something what I call a book that I read a while ago, The Slight Edge. This was by Jeff Olson. And The Slight Edge talks about it's the little things in life. It's the little tiny things. It's the little insignificant things that on a daily basis that lead to the bigger thing. Like, think about compounding interest, right? Everybody's heard of the story about the penny that doubles, right? The two brothers, I don't know if you've heard it, but
one gets like $10 million right now, and the other one gets a penny that compounds.
Yeah, exactly. That same story, correct. I think it's like $1 million. Oh, $1 million, and the other guy gets a penny that compounds, that doubles every day. You would never think about that because it's this tiny little thing.
The penny ends up being $32 million, by the way.
Like 10. No, it's like 10 million. It's like 10 million.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah. In day 29, it's like 2.5. In day 30, it's like 5 million. Day 31, it's like 10 million. It's something like that. But it's crazy because you don't expect it. And it's things that happen. It's delayed gratification also.
Exactly.
You know, it's literally, it's like, where do I need to be and how do I do that? And what are the small steps, right? Most people are like, example, I'm a great example. I'm a big boy, right? There's no shame. I'm a big boy. Am I happy with my weight? No. But then again, it's 100% my fault. I love food. My wife is an amazing cook. So it's,
That's
and I
awesome.
love so, and so I literally, and I enjoy the time that I spend, having dinner as a family is extremely important. Having dinner together is extremely important. And to me, okay, let's go back. So with that being said, the smaller things, if I eat this slice of pizza today, am I going to die tomorrow? No.
No.
Am I eat the same fucking slice of pizza for the next 10 years every day? Am I going to die? You ain't going to fucking die soon. If I eat that cheeseburger, am I going to die? If I don't walk on that treadmill today, am I going to die? No, you're not. So those are things that people don't realize. And unfortunately, we live in a society where it doesn't matter. You're right. Not today, but think about that 10 years from now. We are not taught to think about tomorrow. Why? Because, you only live once, right? You only live once. You have to live your day today. Exactly. People are like, I'm not going to do that because, I just want to live my life today. What's going to happen when you're fucking 30 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now? We don't know when it's time to go. We have no idea. But at the same time, we really want to maximize everything. This also falls in line with my almost man theory, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm not going to worry about that because I'm not there yet, or I'm not going to do that. It's the same thing that applies to people when they start like saving. Let's save save for a rainy day. I've never been a big saver. And that's the truth. I have never been a great saver, but I am an expert of how to problem solve. If I need 30 grand, I know exactly what I need to do to make that 30 grand, and then I'll do it. Do I have my seniority, my senior years, what they call a retirement age? Something else. I don't believe in retirement age, but and we'll go on that later. But I'm saying is, I have that one covered. I'm not worried about that. That's done. But those are the people that need to really focus on. You, Alex, you're 21, 22?
21, yeah.
Right? 21 years old, right? Are you going to have Social Security benefits or anything like that?
I don't even think about that, man.
Congratulations. But most people are like, most W-2 employees, all they do
are
is
looking for that, right? Are looking for benefits and shit like that, yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's like, how, I need that 401k match so I can look for my retirement. Why? Work on it yourself. You make more and you protect yourself more by focusing on that now. What is it? Everybody has to have a number. Most people have no fucking clue. If I go to somebody and tell them right now, I think I saw that on I don't know, some YouTube video or something like that. A guy walking around is like, what's your retirement number? What's your retirement number? You're crazy. People are talking about, $1 million. If I have $1 million, what does $1 million do to you? Most people are like, I've never done that before, so I can retire on that. Can you? How much money do you make now? If you make $20,000 a year, then maybe, yes, congratulations. You can retire with $1 million. But I promise you'll be broke at the end of the first year because you're going to go out and buy that home you don't need, that really big, or that Bentley or whatever it is. You're going to blow through your money. You have no idea how to properly manage it. You're going to, right? Those are things. I think it was Jim Rohn who said, to become a millionaire, it's easy to become a millionaire with money, but you'll lose it extremely fast. If somebody hands you $1 million, say, here's $1 million, you better learn to become a millionaire faster than you can spend it, because you will lose it. You will go back. I mean, that's why the people that win the lottery, tens of millions of dollars, they're broke in 2-3 years. They don't know. They don't believe in themselves of what their capabilities are. And that's literally where society is taking us. They talk about, the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poor. I'm not a rich man. I consider myself very, very middle class, but there is no middle class. Either you have money or you don't. It's just that simple. The guys making $1 million a year, they're fucking broke. They really are. Most people are like, oh, he spends $10,000-$15,000 a month on his home. Oh my God, I could never see myself making that much money. Then that's a fucking problem. It's funny because sometimes, the work that you provide, the work that a person provides, has absolutely nothing to do with it. It could be somebody's second, somebody's hour, somebody's day. There's people out there making hundreds of millions of dollars a day, a day. And then here we are in a society that I could hire a guy to work a whole day, 10 hours easily for $200, $200 a day. And he's happy. Oh, he paid me $200. Where are we?
Yeah.
Where are we? I mean, for you, like, for example, your keynote speakers, I don't know what you charge or whatever it is, but in order to be a keynote speaker, you have a number in your mind. I'll go out there and I'll speak for $5, $10, $15, $20,000, and that's only an hour's worth of work. For most people, 20 grand, that's 3-4 months worth of work of, what is it, 40, 50-hour weeks? It's insane. It's insane. People don't understand that the power that they actually have. And it all has to do with 100% with who you are and what it is that you really want. It's funny because sometimes God is funny. God is a really funny guy because he gives people, there's an old saying in Spanish that it's, mi Dios le da pan al que no tiene dientes. What does that mean? He goes, that God gives bread to those who don't have teeth. What does that really mean? He says that he gives people who really have nothing to do. They don't know what to do with it. He gives them everything just to see what they're going to do with it, but the guy who really is struggling, the guy who really wants to do it, hey, delayed gratification. Your time is coming. You're building towards something much better. And that's what it comes down to,
Awesome, man. Yeah, this was great, man. Like everything that you said, I think people need it. Yeah, so that was great. And we're almost out of time. I have a date with my family right now, so I'm excited for that. But I have 4 questions for you, man.
Go ahead.
The first one is, if you could give your 20-year-old self some advice, what would that be?
Right. That one right there, I'm using my son as an example. He's 18, turning 19 soon. And the best advice that I ever taught him is learn the money, learn the 3 rules of money. Because learning the 3 rules of money, how money grows, how money is taxed, and how money doubles, be able to sustain, whether it be how money doubles, the rule of 72, how money is taxed, what different investment vehicles and how money is actually transferred over. And at the same time is how to protect yourself. That right there is a blessing in disguise. That's tremendous, because the better you manage your finances now at a very younger age, 20, 30 years down the road, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. You hear about guys right now, unfortunately, the internet has done an amazing job. In the last 5 years, there's been more millionaires made, even more billionaires have been made in the last 10 years that there existed the whole fucking existence of this new world.
Yeah.
Right? Well, think about that. And the internet does that, whether it be having podcasts, doing this, having internet drop shipping sites or whatever it is,
Yeah, a bunch of
YouTubers,
stuff.
Whatever it may be, those right there, those guys are the ones that literally need to focus on and see exactly where they're going and what they're going to be in the next 30 years. So that's why managing the finances is tremendous.
Awesome, man. Thanks. Yeah. So how many grows, how many multiplies, and how it's taxed, right? And learning that and using it to your advantage. The second question is mindset. So we talked a lot about the mind and how it plays tricks on people and stuff. So what is one mindset shift that you've had that you think is contributing to your success?
You are not the primary story in somebody else's eyes.
Okay. Yeah. They're just thinking about themselves, right?
I'm looking at this and I'm living my life right here, even though you and I are living the exact same moment. What I see here, you don't see there.
It's
Even if
completely different than what I'm
it is
experiencing. Yeah.
completely 100%. Your experience right now, the guys that are going to be listening, the people that are going to be listening to this, the guy over there working, even though we're in the same place, the experience is 100% different.
That's
And
crazy, right?
it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. And maybe that's another conversation that we can have something else. But yeah, learning that the body and the soul are your mind is amazing. Is amazing.
Yeah. Cool.
You know?
Awesome. The next question is, right? So I think I told you about the Modern Queen podcast. Yeah, I told you about it. So like, if you could give a woman some advice so that she's trying to become a modern queen, she's trying to have it all, right? What would you say to her?
That's a great one. I think the very first thing that pops into my mind is selfishness. Unfortunately, we Latino, right? So we have this mentality of machista, of being the macho guy, and the woman's place is in the home, and all that's bullshit. It really is. But it is a partnership, 100%. And whoever you choose to be a partner, marriage isn't, or being a partner in somebody isn't a 50-50. It's not, oh, it's a 50-50, we make 100. No, marica, you got to give 100 fucking percent. You literally, I fall in love with my wife every fucking morning. And at the end of the night, if I'm still in love with her, great. But I fall in love with her again every morning. And that's a decision that I make, or that she makes, to re-fall in love with herself, because everything becomes monotonous. Everything is, again, whether it be, I'm gorda, I'm fat, and this thing, and the kids, and the dogs, and the blah, blah, blah. No, it's a partnership. 100%. Doesn't matter what the fuck you do in your life, as far as work-wise. If you decide to be a trillionaire entrepreneur, congratulations, but you're not doing that by yourself. It's a partnership with somebody, or
Yeah.
a team. Or if you want to be the housewife, that's okay. It's a team fucking effort. I can't raise kids. My wife did an amazing job raising two amazing kids. But then again, and also supportive, 100%. What decisions? Everything has to do is together. And the decision is made on a daily basis. There's more divorces right now than any time in the world. Why? Because now, being in marriage, whether it be whatever it may be, it has everything to do with, well, if it doesn't work out, just get divorced. Really? What do you mean? Then why get married? Why have that thing if it doesn't work out? Then you're not ready. You're not devoted 100%. You're still thinking of whether you're a guy, but you're asking the girl, I wonder if he's going to cheat on me. Then he's not the fucking right guy.
Yeah.
Don't think about that. It's 100% on you. You need to make sure that you give your 100%. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? It didn't fucking work out. It wasn't the right person. But don't hit yourself. Don't hard. Don't let it be, oh, can't believe it. No, it's you, 100%. Learn who you are. And that goes for both male and women. Learn who you are, 100%.
Awesome, man. So the last one is same thing. If you could give a man, right, some advice to become that modern king, a modern gentleman, what would you say?
I'm going to re-energize the same thing right there, 100%. In order for you to become that king and to attract that queen, you have to become 100% yourself. You need to know exactly who you are.
Exactly.
Right,
yeah. You have to become 100%. So look, this is what happens with relationships, man. Most people are walking around like a capital C, right? Looking for another capital C that would complete them, right? And that, by the very definition of what's happening, it's like a codependent relationship. And the best that could get to is conditional love, right? And the thing with this is that if you find the C that completes you, right, that fulfills your needs, well, people's needs change, and in a couple of years your needs are going to change. People don't even know what their needs are, by the way. Right? So in a couple of years, that person's needs are going to change, and then they're going to be wondering, like, damn, like I'm not, they're unhappy, marriages don't work. So exactly your point, right? Like what you have to focus on is becoming that, like, the full circle yourself, and then looking for that other full circle, and then get into a partnership, right? So awesome, man. I like that. So Nestor, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate you, and I've had a lot of fun. If other people, had some value from everything that you said, and they want to know more about you, they want to follow you, they want to look into what you offer, where should they go to learn more for you? Like, what would be the best place to find you?
Right now, I have my new website being made, NestorCadena.com. The one that's currently up is NestorCadena360.com. That one's going to end up changing just to NestorCadena.com. That's the best place. You'll be able to see some quick videos. All my social media links are on there. My other links to my other businesses are there. I have my Zoom meeting. You can schedule a Zoom with me directly on my private meetings through there. That's the best place to reach me. It would be NestorCadena.com.
Awesome, Nestor. Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate you, and have an amazing rest of your weekend, and I'll see you later.
Alex, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you being on, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye. Thank you for watching the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with one friend, leave us a comment, and let us know. 99% of people never leave a review or comment, but we love and are very thankful with the 1% of you who do. If there's something or someone you want to see on this podcast, send me a message on Instagram at Alex_Ramirez1020 and let me know. As a thank you for that, I have an amazing surprise for each and every one of you who does take the time to leave us a comment or review on YouTube or one of the major podcasting platforms